calling you back to peace? What if suffering isn't meant to break you, but to awaken something deeper within you? Paramahansa Yogananda taught that pain is not a mistake of life, it is a teacher. And when we understand its lesson, suffering slowly loses its power over us. Many people spend their entire lives running from sadness, trying to cover it with distractions, success, relationships, or pleasure. Yet the emptiness keeps returning. Yogananda explained that this happens because sadness is not created by the outer world. It is born in the restless mind that forgets its divine nature. When the soul forgets its connection with God, it feels separated, and that separation becomes sorrow. He often said that human suffering comes from attachment to people, to outcomes, to expectations, and even to our own self-image. When we hold tightly to how life should be, we begin to suffer when reality doesn't match our desires. The mind clings, resists, and fights against change. But life is movement. Nothing remains the same. Relationships change. Bodies age. Situations shift. And when we try to freeze life in one moment of comfort, we create pain for ourselves. Yogananda taught that true peace comes when we learn to flow with life instead of struggling against it. One of the most powerful lessons he shared was that suffering grows when we identify too strongly with the ego. The ego is the small voice inside that says, "This happened to me, I don't deserve this, why is life so unfair?" This voice constantly compares, judges, and complains. It believes happiness depends on external conditions. But the soul knows something very different. The soul knows that peace is already within. It doesn't come from perfect situations. It comes from inner awareness. Yogananda explained that when we meditate and turn our attention inward, we begin to experience a calm that does not depend on circumstances. Even when challenges arise, the heart feels steady. This inner stillness slowly dissolves sadness at its root. Not by force. Not by pretending everything is okay. But by connecting with the deeper part of ourselves that is untouched by pain. He often encouraged people to sit quietly every day, close their eyes, and feel the breath flowing in and out. With each breath, let go of worries. With each breath, relax the body and mind. As thoughts slow down, a gentle peace begins to rise. This peace is not imagination. It is the natural state of the soul. And the more we experience it, the less power suffering holds over us. Another key teaching from Yogananda was about acceptance. Not passive acceptance that gives up on life, but spiritual acceptance that understands every experience has purpose. When something painful happens, instead of asking, "Why me?" he suggested asking, "What is this teaching me?" Every hardship carries a lesson: patience, strength, compassion, humility, or trust. When we look at suffering as a teacher instead of an enemy, it transforms us. He shared that even great saints face struggles, loss, and disappointment. But what made them peaceful was not the absence of pain, it was their ability to rise above it through awareness and faith. They trusted that behind every challenge, God was shaping their soul. Yogananda also taught the importance of devotion and prayer. When sadness feels heavy and the heart feels tired, talking to God like a close friend brings comfort. You don't need fancy words. Just speak honestly. Share your fears, your pain, your hopes. He said sincere prayer opens the heart and allows divine peace to flow in. Many people try to carry their burdens alone, but spiritual strength comes when we surrender them. Another reason suffering grows, according to Yogananda, is constant overthinking. The mind replays painful memories again and again. It imagines future problems that haven't even happened yet. This endless mental noise exhausts us emotionally. He taught that controlling the mind is one of the greatest spiritual victories. Through meditation, breath control, and awareness, we can slowly train the mind to become calm instead of restless. When the mind becomes calm, sadness naturally decreases. Not because life becomes perfect, but because we no longer magnify every problem. We begin to respond instead of react. We find clarity instead of confusion. Peace instead of panic. He also reminded people to serve others as a way to heal their own suffering. When we focus only on our own pain, it grows bigger. But when we help someone else, even in small ways, our heart expands. Compassion shifts attention away from our problems and fills life with meaning. Acts of kindness, listening to someone who is hurting, offering support, these simple things can bring surprising joy. Yogananda believed that joy is not something we chase. It is something we uncover. Beneath layers of fear, attachment, and ego lies a deep happiness that never fades. This happiness is the soul's natural state. And the spiritual journey is simply the process of remembering it. He often said that sadness is like clouds covering the sun. The sun is always shining behind them. The clouds may seem thick, but they cannot destroy the sun. In the same way, peace always exists within you. Painful experiences are just clouds passing through your awareness. When you stay connected to your inner light, the clouds eventually move away. Life will always bring challenges. That is part of being human. But suffering is not permanent. It is something we can rise above. Through meditation, acceptance, devotion, and self-awareness, we slowly loosen the grip of sadness. Yogananda taught that the ultimate cure for suffering is realizing who you truly are, not just a body, not just a mind, not just a personality shaped by experiences, but a divine soul connected to infinite peace. When you begin to live from this understanding, life feels lighter. Problems don't disappear, but they no longer control you. And as this awareness deepens, you begin to notice something beautiful. The same situations that once made you anxious no longer disturb you as much. The same disappointments that once broke your heart now feel like stepping stones instead of setbacks. Strength replaces fear. Calm replaces worry. Trust replaces doubt. This is the spiritual freedom Yogananda spoke about, freedom not from life's challenges, but from the suffering they create in the mind. And as you continue turning inward, practicing stillness, learning to let go, and trusting the divine flow, something remarkable begins to happen inside you. Realize that peace was never missing. It was simply hidden beneath layers of fear, habit, and misunderstanding. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that most human suffering comes not from life itself, but from how we interpret life. Two people can face the same situation, one grows bitter, the other grows wiser. The difference is not in the event, but in consciousness. He explained that when the mind is trained to see every experience as part of divine growth, pain loses its sharp edge. Instead of asking life to be easy, we begin asking for strength, clarity, and wisdom. And slowly, life responds by shaping us into calmer, stronger souls. One of Yogananda's most powerful teachings was about emotional independence. He said many people suffer because they hand their happiness over to others. If someone praises them, they feel happy. If someone criticizes them, they feel crushed. If a relationship goes well, they feel fulfilled. If it ends, they feel empty. This constant emotional dependence keeps the soul trapped in suffering. True freedom, he taught, comes when your happiness flows from within, not from outside approval or situations. When you are connected to your inner peace, people can come and go, success can rise and fall, yet your heart remains steady. This doesn't mean you stop loving or caring. It means you love without attachment, and care without losing yourself. Yogananda compared this to standing in the center of a storm. Around you, winds may blow, rain may fall, chaos may swirl, but in the center, there is calm. When you live in your soul consciousness, you remain calm even while life moves around you. Another deep cause of sadness, he explained, is resistance to the present moment. The mind constantly lives in the past or worries about the future. We replay regrets, mistakes, painful memories. Or we imagine future problems, fears, and losses. Rarely do we fully live in now. But peace only exists in the present moment. When you breathe deeply and bring awareness to this moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow, something magical happens. The mind quiets. The heart relaxes. Stress loosens its grip. Yogananda taught that learning to stay present is one of the fastest ways to reduce suffering. He suggested simple practices, like pausing during the day and becoming aware of your breath, your surroundings, and your body. Feeling the air on your skin. Listening to sounds without judging them. These small moments of awareness bring you back into peace. He also spoke about forgiveness as a powerful healer. Holding anger, resentment, and bitterness keeps sadness alive inside us. When we replay hurts again and again, we reopen emotional wounds. Forgiveness does not mean approving wrong behavior. It means freeing yourself from carrying pain. Yogananda said when you forgive, you are not doing it for the other person, you are doing it for your own peace. When the heart lets go, it feels lighter. Energy that was stuck in anger becomes available for joy, creativity, and love. He taught that every soul is on its own spiritual journey. People hurt others because of their own ignorance, fear, and suffering. When we understand this, compassion replaces hatred. And compassion heals faster than anything else. Another essential teaching was about trusting divine timing. Many people suffer because life is not moving according to their plans. They want answers now. Success now. Healing now. Relationships now. But Yogananda reminded us that the universe works with perfect intelligence. Some lessons require time. Some blessings come only after growth. Just as a seed takes time to become a tree, our soul needs experiences to mature. When we trust that everything is unfolding for our highest good, anxiety softens. He encouraged people to replace worry with faith. Not blind faith, but deep trust that a loving divine force guides life. Even when things don't make sense, there is purpose at work. One simple affirmation he suggested was silently saying, I am guided. I am protected. I am exactly where I need to be. Repeating such thoughts slowly reshapes the mind from fear to peace. Yogananda also emphasized the importance of joy in spiritual life. Many people think spirituality means being serious all the time. But he believed joy is a sign of spiritual progress. Laughter, gratitude, appreciation of nature, music, beauty, these uplift the soul. When you notice small blessings, a sunrise, a kind word, a peaceful moment, your heart slowly shifts from sadness to gratitude. And gratitude attracts more peace. He taught that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for: breath, life, awareness, opportunities to grow. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it changes how we experience them. One of the most comforting teachings Yogananda shared was that no suffering is wasted. Every tear waters the soul. Every challenge strengthens spiritual muscles. Every heartbreak teaches deeper love. And every disappointment redirects us towards something greater. He said when we look back later in life, we often realize that the hardest moments shaped us the most beautifully. The ultimate message he gave about sadness and suffering was this: you are not meant to live in pain forever. You are meant to awaken to joy. The soul's natural state is peace, love, and happiness. Suffering is temporary. It is part of the journey, not the destination. When you meditate, forgive, let go of attachments, trust divine guidance, live in the present, and connect with your inner self, you slowly move out of suffering into freedom. Life may still bring storms, but you become the calm ocean beneath the waves. And one day, you'll notice something incredible. The things that once made you cry no longer control you. The fears that once paralyzed you feel smaller. The sadness that once felt endless begins to fade. In its place comes a quiet strength. A deep peace. A gentle joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. This is the transformation Paramahansa Yogananda promised, not a life without challenges, but a heart that rises above them. And as you continue walking this spiritual path, you discover that suffering was never your enemy. It was the doorway that led you back to peace. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may be going through pain right now. Remember, suffering is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your spiritual awakening. If you want more life-changing wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda and great spiritual masters, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below saying, "I choose peace," if you're ready to release sadness and welcome joy into your life. Thank you for watching. May peace guide you always. Folded hands.